Hello all, and welcome to another Caffeinated Entertainment video. It's Art here with a video that was requested down in the comments. The Bookish podcast I listen to. And so we'll get right into that. These are the book-related podcasts that I relatively listen to. It's Maggie the Doofy Dog. Yeah, kind of goofy. I'm telling you right now. The first bookish podcast I listen to the most is the Sword and Laser podcast. It is my science fiction book club that I belong to. You can find them at swordandlaser.com. The next bookish podcast I listen to is the Kindle Chronicles, starring Lynn Edgerly. It is a great podcast. I'm going to try to find images for all these to put them in the editing for later. You're welcome. But the Kindle Chronicles is not a Kindle-centric. It is Kindle-centric, but it's not just Kindle-centric. He talks about independent authors. He has wonderful book-related interviews. The interview segments that I love dearly. The next book club book podcast, or book podcast that I listen to is Levar Burton Reads. This is where Levar Burton reads short fiction to you once or twice, I believe it's once a week. And it is basically reading Rainbow for adults. If that doesn't sell you on it, I don't know what could or what would. The next book-related podcast I listen to is the Book Riot podcast, and also the Book Riot Science Fiction podcast. Those are kind of the same. One deals with books that are out now, contemporary hot fiction, and the other deals with science fiction and fantasy, but they're hosted by the same two Book Riot people, so that's why I mentioned them kind of in the same breath. The BakerStreet Babes is another bookish-related podcast. This is more Sherlock Holmes-based, but of course, since Sherlock Holmes is a book, and they cover all new books and shows and everything new in the world of Sherlock Holmes. Pardon my chair for the interruption. The other bookish podcast I listen to is actually BBC Radio 4's The Book Hour. It is amazing. It is artful literature discussion. It is reading as culture, and I love that podcast. The other podcast actually stars a fellow YouTuber. It's Marshmallow Mimosa. I believe she has a science fiction podcast as well. This one stars Winks Gall. I think I said that right. I love her channel, by the way. Adore her channel. And all the links, I'm going to try to leave links in the description down below for all the podcasts in forth hitherto that I mentioned. Now these are most of the bookish podcasts I listen to. If there are any that you listen to that you think I need to be made aware of, because I'm always looking to expand my horizons. Yes, I listen to a lot of Audible. Yes, I listen to a lot of other podcasts. I can do a wrestling podcast rundown video, and a video game podcast rundown video, and a tech podcast rundown video. So if you want to see those, hit me up in the comments down below. Please click the notification bell and subscribe if you want to see more. You know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Happy reading all, and in this case, happy listening. I'll see you again soon. And peace.